SFA tutoring case study. SFA is the Success for All tutoring program. Begin with the introduction to the tutie. So it is Annalise. She is in the first grade. She is African American. She goes to East Garfield Elementary. So Annalise has 3 older brothers that she loves to talk about all of the time during tutoring, and she has a younger sister that she doesn't really talk about as often, but I think it's just because her sister's a lot younger and her brothers do a lot of activities with her. Mom is in the picture, and so is Grandma. Annalise loves to draw and tell stories about her drawings and what they mean to her. A lot of the times she draws pictures of herself and her older brothers. The environment for tutoring. The tutoring sessions took place on the first floor of East Garfield Elementary School. The school had multiple tables set up in the hallway specifically for Success for All tutoring. The tables had bins with small whiteboards, dry erase markers, all the shared stories that the first grade classes were working on, letter blending cards, and the key cards. We did face distractions by having to sit in the hallway since classes would be walking by, heading out to recess, walking by because they're heading back to their classroom from lunch. But we developed a plan for how we would focus on our tutoring sessions. So we'll address our pre-assessment. So for phonemic awareness. So for phonemic awareness, objective 1, hears and says initial sounds and spoken words. So Annalise was able to have mastery upon for pre-assessment. She got 80% of the initial sound words correct, which is to mastery. The 2 words she struggled with were sun and grape. Grape was identified to be a difficult word for her due to the initial blend of gr. Phonemic awareness activity 2. Blending sounds presented orally together to say a word. Annalise had 90% mastery of blending sounds together presented orally. Of the 10 words, the one that she missed was name, which she would have to break down. N, a, m. This may have been in part due to my own pronunciation of the individual's sounds due to my regional accent. I may have gone just a little too fast while saying name. Phonemic awareness activity 3. She's able to breaking down words presented orally and saying each sound separately. At the time of the initial assessment, Annalise was not able to reach mastery level of PA3, which is phonemic awareness, during the pre-assessment. She was able to break down individual words such as in, red, sun, leg, rich, neat, and chin. She struggled with the words shop, frog, and slam. Throughout tutoring, Annalise continually struggled with letter blending of initial sounds like sh and ch and fur and bl and grr. Concepts about print. Annalise had mastery for all 6 of the concept about print objectives at the first objective. She was able to point to the title, understands that the title tells something about the story, holds the book correctly for reading, is able to find the first page, and knows that there are spaces between each individual words. She also was able to read to get a message from the print rather than from the pictures. Letter skills. Letter skills 1, which is identifying letter sounds. Annalise was able to complete all letter sounds for sets 1 through 6, which is on track for halfway through the school year. At set 7, she missed the letter sounds for ER, UE, oo, AI, A, but was able to identify the sounds for IGH, ugh, like in high, and ow, like in plow. Letter skills 2, she was not able to complete to mastery, which is writing the letters for specific sounds. She missed 5 of the 30 sounds during the initial assessment. She missed D, which is D, K for CK, ng for NG, ch, CH, and Q. Letter skills 3, identifying letter names. Annalise only missed 1 letter during the initial assessment. She missed the letter D. Throughout tutoring, it was noticed that she would sometimes flip the letter so that when she was writing as B, but she would immediately correct herself. So the assessment continued to part 2 of the tutoring assessment since she had 80% mastery of phonemic awareness activity 1 and was able to read all sounds in letter skills set 1. So in the part 2, there were sight words. Annalise was able to recall essential sight words from set 1 due to mastery during the initial assessment. Word skills. She was able to master the first 5 sets of word skills 1. Word skills 2, she was able to separate a word by breaking it into sounds, and she was able to master the first full set. First reassessment. Upon returning to letter skills 1, Annalise was able to accurately, without prompting, identify all letter sounds in sets 7 through 9, showing that she had 100% mastery of identifying letter sounds, not just the letters. Writing letters for specific sounds, she was able to complete to mastery of the 5 letters she missed. Prompting was necessary for identifying the sound K, which could be written as C, CK, or K. After exploration in Tutoring Plan 2, through writing with the magic pencil activity, reversing letters B and D, it was noticed that she would self-correct herself in the moment. Reading words with blending. Annalise was only able to complete the first 6 sets. We had moved on to set 7, but she began to get agitated with this activity, and her frustration levels became increasingly elevated. Sight words. Annalise made amazing improvements over the course of the first tutoring plans for her when it came to recalling essential sight words. After the reassessment, she was able to recall all words in both sets 1 and 2. When she had to recall from set 3, she was only able to identify 2 of the words, as and could. Word skills 3, reading words with base words. Annalise was able to complete the second set of words with 100% accuracy. Moving on to set 3, she was only able to reach 60% accuracy, and she missed the words wiped and smiled. The second reassessment. We did not return back to part 1 of the assessment, but only focused on the areas that needed improvements from parts 2 and 3. Word skills 3, she was able to master both sets 3 and 4 in the second assessment. From set 3, she missed the word wiped, which has a base word with a sneaky E, which indicates that she needs to work on reading words with base words, adding ER, EST, ED to words that end in E. Reading multisyllable words containing regular vowel sounds using chunking, she was able to master the first set of words presented. The second set, she was only able to read the word yellow. She missed the words happen, report, register, and family. Tracking. She has mastery of being able to read from left to right and reading with one-to-one correspondence. For the third objective, reading without losing place or skipping words, she loses her place when moving between from one line to the next. To address this would be to have her use a reading guide while reading out loud. Comprehension level. Annalise had mastery of previewing materials before reading to predict the content. using word parts and chunking with unknown words in text, rereading text to identify unknown words, uses context to identify unknown words in text, and uses different word strategies flexibly in text. She is still developing her skills for recognizing and attempting to correct word errors in text by clarifying words, and using sound blending to read unknown words in text. After completion of the second reassessment, Annalise would still continue on with Tutoring Plan 3 to continue working on her fluency skills in reading sight words in this context. So, assessment results. After the pre-assessment, Annalise was placed on Tutoring Plan 2. Since she did not achieve any mastery in being able to recall essential sight words from Sight Words Set 1, I felt as though Tutoring Plan 2 would be best for her to achieve gains in identifying sight words. In the development of her tutoring plan, reading words with blending will be focused on, since she only was able to complete through Set 6 of Word Skills 1. During Tutoring Plan 2, Annalise was very unsure of herself and seemed to lack confidence in her own decision-making. To work on her confidence, I made sure to use behavior-specific praises once she had made concrete decisions and did not ask me for continual reassurance. In the implementation of Tutoring Plan 3 after the first reassessment, it was determined Annalise needed to develop further letter skills, specifically for letter blending sounds such as fr, gl, gur, and dur. We also began working on Word Skills 3, adding endings to base words that did not change, such as girl, ditch, filled. We continued working on drawing lines for sounds, Word Skills 2. Throughout tutoring, the main goal for Annalise was to develop her recognition of sight words, especially ones that were missed in the pre-assessment, such as come, find, here, where, am, are, they, this, and as. As she began to develop further recognition in sight words, she was able to get on track with the shared stories that the whole class was on. Strategies. Many of the strategies in the SFA tutoring manual were great, such as reading word for word, because there was little room for improvement in the script. So this activity was completed with fidelity. For phonemic awareness activities, break it, say it, Annalise was much more receptive to drawing the individual lines for each sound than orally saying each sound. For the Letter Skills 1 activity, letter sound blending, I could not find the letter blending sound cards for the activity, so I had to modify on the spot, creating a matching activity on the whiteboard where one side, the letter blend, would be capitalized, so uppercase F, uppercase L, and on the other side, in a different order, lowercase f, L. She matched the letters together and had to say the letter blending sounds. Then think of any words that she knew using those letter blends in them. Annalise really enjoyed any tactile activity where she was writing or drawing. She had the highest level of engagement. During activities in which she was not writing or drawing, she would easily stray off task and have to be pulled back into the activity.